If your sleep feels terrible right now, you are not broken, you're just out of rhythm. And the good news is that your body is designed to sleep well when a few simple systems fall back into place. Today, I'll show you a real-world plan to reset those systems so you can fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and actually wake up feeling human again. So, let's break it down in detail. When people say they have terrible sleep, it's usually a mix of things. It might be trouble falling asleep, or waking up repeatedly in the night, or waking up at 4 a.m. for no reason. Maybe the sleep technically happens, but it never feels restorative. And by the next day, you're dragging your feet, fighting brain fog, or feeling irritated by things that usually wouldn't bother you. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're not doing anything wrong. Your sleep system is just out of sync. Sleep becomes much less mysterious once you understand what actually controls it. First, you have your circadian rhythm, your built-in 24-hour clock. Light is its favorite messenger, especially morning light that tells your brain it's time to be alert, and darkness that teaches your body when to settle. Second, you have something called sleep pressure, which is basically the buildup of a chemical called adenosine. The longer you're awake, the more of it accumulates, making you naturally sleepy as evening approaches. And the third piece is your core body temperature. It needs to drop a little at night for sleep to come easily. That's why warm evenings, late workouts, or a hot bedroom can really get in the way. The real magic isn't in any fancy trick, it's consistency. When these systems get predictable signals every day, sleep gets easier, deeper, and more reliable. Everything we're about to do helps your brain find that rhythm again. So here's how to start rebuilding your sleep in a practical, doable way. The very first anchor is your wake time. I know it's obvious it's that much important. Choose one wake time and stick with it every single day, even after a lousy night. This sets your circadian rhythm with more authority than anything else you can do. As soon as you can after waking, get outside for 10 to 20 minutes of natural morning light. It boosts alertness and starts a timer that makes it much easier to wind down at night. Next, think about caffeine. As we get older, caffeine lingers in the body longer than it used to, so stopping around 2 p.m. helps prevent nighttime awakenings. Alcohol and late meals deserve a quick mention too. Alcohol might help you fall asleep, but it breaks up your sleep cycles. And large meals too close to bedtime make your digestive system work at a time when your body should be winding down. Try to keep both at least 3 hours before bed. Let's talk about workouts. Earlier in the day is generally ideal for sleep, but if the evening is your only option, that's completely fine. Just avoid very intense workouts in an hour or two right before bed because they keep your body temperature too high. If you nap, aim for 10 to 20 minutes and try to nap before mid-afternoon. Longer or later, naps reduce your sleep pressure and make it harder to fall asleep at night. Your wind-down routine matters more than most people realize. About 30 minutes before bed, start shifting into low stimulation mode. Read, stretch, take a warm shower, do some light breathing, or journal. Think of it as helping your nervous system power down gradually instead of crashing. Your sleep environment is another huge piece. Cool is best, ideally somewhere between 17 and 19 degrees Celsius. Make the room as dark as you reasonably can, use blackout curtains if needed, and keep a noise to a minimum or add white noise. And if possible, move your phone out of the room to remove the temptation of late night scrolling. Speaking of screens, they aren't the enemy, but they are confusing for your brain at night. Bright light tells your brain that it's daytime, so dim your devices in the evening, use warm lighting at home, and avoid bringing screens into bed. This alone improves sleep for many people. Now I want to bring in some principles from CBTI, which is considered the most effective treatment for insomnia. You can use the same ideas even if your sleep problems aren't extreme. One of those tools is called stimulus control, which simply means this. Your bed should only be associated with sleep and relaxation. So if you're lying awake for what feels like 20 or 30 minutes, get up, go to another room, and do something calm in low light. Return to bed only when you feel sleepy. This retrains your brain to connect the bed with actual sleep, not frustration. Another CBTI tool is gentle sleep restriction. If you're spending 8 or 9 hours in bed but only sleeping 6, the brain loses confidence in bedtime. So for a short period, limit your time in bed to your average sleep time plus about 30 minutes. Once your sleep becomes more efficient and deeper, you gradually extend your sleep window by 15 minutes at a time. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's extremely effective. When racing thoughts hit at night, try shifting from problem solving to simple observation. Tell yourself thinking is allowed, spiraling is optional. You're not trying to force sleep. You're just creating the conditions for sleep and letting your body take over when it's ready. And when you have a bad night, don't start chasing sleep by going to bed early or napping for hours. Stick to your routine, especially your wake time. Your system stabilizes much faster this way. Now let's talk about anxiety and overthinking, because they show up for many people at bedtime. One of my favorite tools is the brain dump, Spend 5 minutes writing down everything tugging at your mind. It closes mental tabs so your brain doesn't try to hold them all open at once. Another helpful idea is the worry window. Pick a fixed time during the day to sit with your worries for 10 minutes. Then, anything that pops up at night gets written down for tomorrow's worry window instead of spiraling in the dark. Breathing techniques can help too. Box breathing, where you inhale, hold, exhale, and hold for 4 seconds each, or the 4-7-8 method, which helps your nervous system shift out of stress mode. Progressive muscle relaxation is also great. Tense each muscle group for 5 seconds, release, and move upward from your toes to your head. Food matters too, especially in the evening. A dinner with protein and fiber helps keep your blood sugar stable. A moderate amount of carbs can make you feel pleasantly sleepy because they help your brain produce serotonin. Hydrate during the day, then taper in the evening so you aren't waking to use the bathroom. A few supplements can be helpful if you use them mindfully. Magnesium glycinate can support relaxation. Glycine can slightly lower core body temperature. Melatonin works best in very low doses for short-term use or when shifting time zones. Herbs like chamomile or valerian help some people, but not everyone. If you take medications or have medical conditions, check with a clinician before adding anything. Chronotypes matter too. If you're naturally an early bird or a night owl, don't force a schedule that fights your biology. Instead, shift your routine in small steps, about 15 to 30 minutes at a time. Use light exposure to gradually guide your body. If you use sleep trackers, treat them as feedback, not judgment. The only metrics that really matter are time in bed, time asleep, sleep efficiency, and consistency. If tracking makes you anxious, switch to a simple sleep diary instead. Here's a simple troubleshooting flow you can keep in your mind. If you can't fall asleep, check your caffeine timing, dim the lights, try breathing or a warm shower, and leave the bed if you're awake too long. If you're waking up around 3 a.m., avoid looking at the clock, do a body scan, and get out of bed for a few minutes if you're too alert. If you're tired all day, strengthen your morning routine, move your body more, monitor your evening habits, and protect your wake time. On the days when everything falls apart and you barely sleep, your recovery plan is simple. Wake at the same time, get light exposure, move your body gently, take a short nap if necessary, but keep it under 20 minutes and early in the day. Stick to your normal bedtime, and that's it. I have also made a separate video on the best magnesium type to take if you are dealing with sleep problems. Watch this next.